killer is one that you cannot see. By the time it's going to hit you, you won't even see it coming. It's called comfort. Comfort doesn't attack you when you're laying on your bed comfortable, when you're sitting on that couch watching TV. Comfort comes and raises its ugly head when you begin to make a decision to take a step forward towards your dreams. That's when comfort begins to attack. That's when comfort begins to tell you, hey, you're gonna fail. You can't do this. What if? What if that starts to bring the doubts, the fears, and the unbelief so that comfort can win? Because in today's society, this comfort's become a lifestyle, a way of living. People, they don't achieve their dreams. They don't achieve their goals because they allow this disease to kill them. They take their dreams, their passions, their visions, their talents into the grave.
Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. We are almost to the end of the week. Happy Thursday. Hope you all had a phenomenal week so far. A lot of growth, sending blessings and love over to your side. I'm excited for today. I've got a really great topic. I'm actually going to have to go ahead and whip out the whiteboard on the Thursday. So get ready, get your notepads out because this is going to be a great training for everybody. We're going to be diving into one of the biggest killers in the world, one of the biggest killers that kills dreams. So if you guys want to go ahead and give me your guesses now, let me know. And while I go ahead up and get set up on IG too, let's get a little bit of gratitude down below. Let me see it. What is everybody grateful for? Give me 1 to 3 things that you guys can think about that you're grateful for right here, right now. And we're going to go ahead and dive into today. Here we go. Got to make sure IG doesn't miss this one. This will be a good one. All right, here we go. Let's get them set up. Awesome. So, family, I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful and thankful for the mind, for the body, for the spirit. We've been vibrating extremely high. We've had some very serious, intense morning training sessions, visualizations. Even, I'm telling you, even as little as being intentional, brushing the teeth with the opposite hand, having the goals everywhere inside of the rooms on the whiteboard, sticky notes. I've even got some things written up on the mirror. So really just being able to activate the RAS, right? The reticular activating system. Whatever we see, whatever we think about most of the time, we become. So I'm very, very particular about what is that we're thinking about, what we're hearing, what we're seeing. So I'm so grateful for the level of awareness. I'm grateful for God. I love it. The amazing connections, friendship, life, and health. Jojo, let's go. I love to see it. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get into it. Deanne in the building. I see you on here. Let's go. I love it. So here we go. The 3 biggest dream killers. If you guys have your paper out, if you guys have your pen, let's go ahead and get into it. I've got a really cool diagram. Actually, one of my really good friends that I've known for the past couple of years, somebody that's extremely has a lot of value. He carries himself with a huge heart. He's got some phenomenal connections. He's actually been able to speak on TEDx Talks. Carl Bay, shout out to you, brother. Boost. I know you're gonna end up seeing this, but he actually just sent me this book from the legend, Mr. Lewis Howes. So if you guys have no idea who this is somebody who's created a ton of impact, somebody whose story is absolutely phenomenal. He's been able to spend some time as a monk. And for those of you that know, I love to study the monk mindset. This is coming straight from the GOAT himself. So this is one of his brand new releases that he literally just put out. So when I tell you I've just ripped out the packaging, I've just got this out, it's brand new. And I'm ready to go ahead and open up and give some of the value because I already know this directly correlates to the next 90 days, right? The season that we're in right here, right now, this is going to absolutely tie in beautifully because I've already started to dive in and see these lessons. So I know without a shadow of doubt, we're all going to get a ton of value from this. So if you're ready to go ahead and dive into the greatness mindset, unlocking the power of your mind and living your best life today, drop some 2s down below and let me know who's ready. Mr. Yeti in the building. Shout out to New York. It's good to see you, brother. I love it. Let's go. All right, so check this out. Here's the diagram. I'll let you guys go ahead and get a screenshot of this. You can go ahead and get it. So go ahead and take a screenshot so you guys got it. Lock that in. This is going to be the training that we're diving into for today. Okay, so the doubt diagram. So you guys can go ahead and see this, right? So IG, if you want to take a screenshot, go ahead and get that. This is what I'm going over today. Okay, the doubt diagram. So check this out. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the biggest dream killer in the world, believe it or not, is not any disease. It's not a car crash. It's not lightning strikes, right? The biggest dream killer in the world is one word. And guess what? I have it right in the title. Doubt. The doubt diagram, right? Right here. This is the biggest dream killer. Doubt kills more dreams than any illness, sickness, car crash, lightning bolt will ever do. And when you understand that doubt, right? I meant to put a 3 after doubt, right? So there's 3 pieces of doubt when it comes to the doubt diagram. And as you guys can see, these are the 3 most influential factors when it comes to really understanding doubt, how it works, how we can go ahead and actually learn from it. So if you guys have that down, if you're ready, go ahead and drop some ones and let's go ahead and dive into what it looks like to start mastering. And today I'm actually going to go over the first piece. So I'm actually going to share with you guys just the first chapter. And the first chapter is strictly over only doubt. Okay. Only the doubt of failure. And this is actually one of the biggest ones for most people. Most are afraid to fail. So here we go. So this is a big one because myself included, I'm just like you all, right? I'm nobody special. I failed a lot of things in my life. There's been things that were brand new to me that I had no idea how to do at first, just like all of you. And guess what? The fear of failing, right? Being able to do something, being able to put a lot of energy into certain different things that we've done in our life and not be able to see success, it hurts, right? It brings a certain level of pain. It brings a certain level of anxiety, shame, right? Depression. All of these different emotions come from when we failed all across the years of our life, all the times that we've done things and we've been told, no, you can't do this. You're not good enough. You don't have the body, right? All of us have been told more than 150,000 times no by the time that we're 18 years old. So it's no reason why we're afraid to fail, right? In school, guess what? We get in trouble for what? We are programmed to get in trouble for getting an F, right? We're programmed to get in trouble to fail. But here's the deal with entrepreneurship, family. When it comes to this world, there's no reason to be afraid. And I'm going to go through a couple of different phenomenal bullet points so you guys can understand why this is so important to understand, right? So here we go. Here's the first thing I want to talk about when we're getting into the exact topic of the 3 biggest dream killers of doubt. And the first one is going to be failure. So when we're talking about failure, I want to give you guys something out of the book. It was actually a really cool paragraph. And here's what the paragraph said, right? Let me go ahead and whip it out so everybody can see it. Right here. This is what it says. I want you guys to just think about this in perspective with anything that we've done that seems like it hasn't worked, it hasn't actually happened in our favor, and watch how powerful this is, okay? So it's called the then what exercise. When we go out and do something new, when we go out and do something that makes us feel nervous, that gives us a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt. Here was the example that he gave in the book. He said he was talking to a phenomenal female speaker, right? At the beginning of her journey. Here's what she said. What if I forget what I'm going to say next? He says, okay, then what? Well, I'd be embarrassed. Okay, then what? I might run off stage. Okay, then what? Everyone would laugh. Okay, then what? I'd probably not leave home for a week. Okay, then what? I'd probably eventually pick myself back up and keep moving forward. I realized what he was getting at. Even in the worst case scenario, I'd eventually be okay. I'd later on to go end up being a global international speaker. So that was such a really cool example just to think about it. How many activities do we do, or how many perspectives do we have that make us fearful of doing certain things? When in reality, if we were to literally say, okay, then what after that statement, most of the time it's not as bad as we think. If I go out and make that video I'm afraid to make, well, what if somebody negative comments? Okay, then what? I'll go ahead and make a new one. What happens if I go out and I make a live trading account and I lose a trade? Okay, then what? You learn, you take a lesson, and you're able to go ahead and go back with more knowledge. What happens when you go out and you start putting your vision out there and people don't believe in you? Okay, then what? There's somebody out there that's dying for the information that we have access to. You see, when I started to learn this in all different aspects of my life, I don't have the body that I want yet. Okay, then what? Maybe we can go ahead and start taking steps today to go ahead and get 1 inch closer to that goal. You see, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's relationships, whether it's building our business, building a brand. My business isn't looking the way I want it to look yet. Okay, then what? What is the next action step that we can take today to go ahead and get the needle a little bit farther than yesterday? So, okay, then what? That was a nice piece of that chapter. You ready? Here's the second part. It talks about what can failure teach you. It says, if my focus on was serving other people, then all my fears about what might happen to me might become irrelevant. And this is so true, right? At the beginning, yes, it's all about paying bills. We have to get by. But when you really start to understand the essence of law of attraction, the essence of being able to have more, doing less, you start to realize how many things can start really working out in our favor. So I love this chapter because it's something that all of us can relate to. So here's the second piece that it said. There is something worse than failing. And I want to go ahead and ask you guys, what do you think the answer to that is? What is worse than failing? And it's funny, as I read that, I was just thinking in my mind. And the answer was not what I thought. The regret of not trying. And it's funny too, because I literally got this book. I put out this post before I actually opened up this book. And I literally said just that in the post I put out yesterday. Would you rather have the fear of not trying, or would you rather have the fear of regretting and wondering, what if? What if I would have went after my dream body? What does that look like? What if I would have went after the highest version of myself? What kind of stages am I speaking on? What kind of gratitude messages am I getting? What kind of different cultures, people, and places am I getting to see in the course of my lifetime? You see, one of my new mantras I've started to go ahead and obtain, I believe, is what is possible. You see, that QLQ is so huge. What's possible for our bodies? What's possible for our spiritual side? What's possible for our relations? What's possible for our business? What's possible for our brand? My name is Define Dreams, right? So the goal is to allow us to go ahead and dream much bigger, much sooner, but it only happens when we can literally change the way we see things. Anybody that I've seen become successful, anybody that I've seen that's winning at a very high level, I've noticed will only get as high as the level of belief that we have for ourselves and the identity that we've created for ourselves. Even if we're not in the house, even if we're not driving the car yet, let me ask you, what does the identity that you have for yourself look like? Because it doesn't have to resemble what's going on in the external world, because you're a king and you're a queen if you're on this call. You're a champion if you're on this call. It doesn't matter what the external world shows you, but it's being able to understand that first. There's something worse than failing, and that's the regret of not trying. That's one of the biggest things I realized. So I love that. That's huge. Failure is how we grow. Just like we go to the gym. I love the gym analogy because I'm getting us all in the healthy mindset, right? So if we're all going to the gym, what is the only way that we can truly grow? Somebody go ahead and drop it down below. Who knows? If we go to the gym today, what's the only way that we can truly grow? They call it a failure set, right? A superset. It takes being able to break down the muscle. It takes being able to go ahead and rip it apart. It takes resistance to allow us to go ahead and break and push past the threshold, to reach new highs, to reach new weights that we didn't know we could hold. And this happens over time. It's not something that happens right away. It comes from beating at it every single day. John C. Maxwell, he talks about the 5 negotiables. So no matter what it is that we're going for, imagine if we had 5 negotiables that we do every day, and these are going to directly contribute to our goals. It's just like a tree. If you hit a tree in the same spot, bow, 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 every day, eventually over time, that tree is going to fold. That tree is going to fall. Same thing goes with success. God, the universe, is begging to and give us what we want to, what is that we desire, if we're willing to hold the feeling and stay consistent long enough. Huge. So huge to understand. This is why I'm still going 5 years later. This is why I'm still so consistent with you all at 11 a.m. This is why I see you all stepping into the highest version of yourself, because you understand it. You get it. And I applaud you for that. Let me be the first to tell you I'm proud of you, right? For going against your fears of speaking, for going to the gym every day, right? For really plugging into the morning rituals, for really being present on these calls and on the Zooms and asking questions, all of these little things, I promise you, family, they add up. It might be scary to ask a question, even for me. It's still to this day, it's scary for me to ask for help sometimes. But you know what I realize? I would rather get the answer than let months go down the line and keep seeing other people win and just and look at myself like, yo, why didn't I just ask? Why didn't I just reach out? Questions will take you anywhere that you want to go if you're willing to ask the right questions. So what the things that we're fearful of, including myself, I'm even running at them into this season. So I'm with you right here. All right. So here we go. We're almost done. Stick with me for 5 more minutes. Wrapping up this one chapter, talking about that one of the 3 biggest doubts, and that's going to be the fear of failure. I'm almost done. Okay. Here's how I want to end it with you guys. He talked about inside of this book, pain points the way. And then he talked about your emergency reserves, right? This was the last 2 pieces that he ended this piece of the chapter with. And when he talked about pain points the way, he talked about being able to essentially embrace failure, right? Just like going to the gym. I'm going to be going to the gym as soon as I get off this call because I had a little bit of a late start today. But it's funny how I'm literally running. I'm running to the gym. Not literally, but figuratively, right? I'm running to the gym to go run at pain, to go push my body. I'm looking to go run at resistance. Because here's what I know. I want you I just got this download as I'm sitting here with you right now. Imagine that there's a resistance level right here. And we know the only way for the next level is beyond that resistance level. It's beyond that threshold. So you know what I'm just thinking about most people living life, right? Most people never put enough time, energy, and money to even run at that resistance level, to even push it, to be able to get past it and break past the threshold. But you know how we break past that resistance? Just like exactly what we're talking about John C. Maxwell, beating at it every single day. So if the resistance is here and every day we go and beat at it, hitting the gym, we beat at it with better rituals, eating better, getting up earlier, right? Taking care of ourselves, gratitude. Eventually, that resistance is going to break and we're going to be allowed. That's why it's called a breakthrough. If you guys didn't understand, that's why it's called a breakthrough or a break free, because you've literally just took the lid off of what we thought was possible. You've now dropped another 30 pounds. You've now added another 30 pounds. You're now starting to actually love yourself at a whole different level because you've started to see what is real. But it only starts with being able to love yourself before it happens. This is huge. And the last piece was the emergency reserves. You see, in the emergency reserves, it talks about being able to reward ourselves, right? He talks about if failure is inevitable, then why should we fear it? What if instead we gave ourselves permission to fail on the journey to greatness? Just like at school, we got in trouble. Well, here we actually get paid. You see, because every time that we go out, we make a video, we're going to get a little bit better. Every time that we go out and we put out a product, we're going to learn a little bit more on how to go ahead and do our research, how to actually understand keywords and tags. But that learning experience never happens if we don't go out and actually get into the field. Yeah, running is definitely not one of my favorites, right? So this is huge. This is I know this was a training that any of us can go ahead and take action and benefit from, because there's things that I know that we've been a little bit fearful to do. It could be calling that chicken list. It could be reaching out. It could be doing an event. I don't know what that is. It's different for all of us. But there's a couple of things that I could just feel that could be give us anxiety. But I promise when we go at that threshold and allow us to go ahead and believe before it happens, watch how good that breakthrough and breakthrough feels. Those of you that have already experienced it, you already know how it feels because you've gotten through some pretty amazing accomplishments inside of your life. But what is to come is even better. So, fam, with that being said, that's my training for everybody. I hope you got a little bit of value. If you did, go ahead and drop some 3s down below. Smash that like button, and let's go ahead and get ready to dominate the end of the month. I can already foresee the blessings, the abundance, the ka-chings, the withdrawals, the relationships, the love pouring into all of our lives for this month. I love you, family. Go out and be great. Is your favorite entrepreneur, Defund Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, and have anything that you can hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. I love you, family. Anything you need, I'm here for you. Reach out every step of the way. Let's get it. Dream team. It's game time. Let's get to work.